अल्लाह री नामत ये माटी है नूरान, निकाह कर ले मेरे संग।
बिच्छू बैठे हैं तेरे इंतजार में।
तू बिच्छू से कम है, तू काट ले।
Hi, hello, hi, I am Pratiksha Mishra and you're listening to Do I Like It? A Quint production where we review anything and everything under the sun. And in this episode, I'm going to tell you if I like the Song of Scorpions. Here's the thing about the Song of Scorpions. My main appeal for the film was that, it's Irrfan's last release that we will get to see. And that is, Irrfan was just such a magnificent actor and kalakar, if you will, that it's emotional. It's emotional to know that this is the last film of his that one will be watching. And that's why I went in to watch the Song of Scorpions. But I came out mesmerized, impressed, completely flabbergasted by the acting chops of the lead Golshifteh Farahani. Just beautiful. I think it's her film. Like, yes, it's Irrfan's last film, but it's her film through and through. Golshifteh plays a character called Nooran, who is one of the Scorpion singers. Now, a Scorpion singer is basically a tribal woman who has such a beautiful voice, and she sings a certain song that is said to cure people who are, say, bitten by scorpions or, have venom running inside them because of being attacked or being bitten by a creature. And of course, this is the stuff of myths, it's the stuff of fairy tales, and all the characters are also, I think, written that way. It feels like someone's telling you from memory a story that they have heard. So, Anup Singh has directed this film, and the previous film that I remember from the director is Kissa, and Kissa as a film is pretty good. Like, बहुत अच्छी film है. The messaging, its character work, its storyline, its plot, all good, brilliant. So I think I was pretty excited for this film as well. But before I delve into how I feel about the film as a whole, I want to tell you that you can watch our other episodes from this series as well as our other podcasts from the Quint on our website or wherever you find your podcast from. Let's continue. So that's the story so far of the Song of Scorpions. Nooran is essentially a scorpion singer. She's learning from her grandmother Zubaida, who's played by a magnificent Wahida Rahman. And we find out that Adam is a man played by Irrfan, who is essentially mesmerized by her. He's supposedly in love with her. Now, is it love? Is it obsession? Is what you find out in the film. It's a whole thing. And with this, what happens is a very tragic event happens in Nooran's life, which leads her to lose her song. Now, I must tell you that I am giving you essentially a trigger warning, a content warning, because I'll be discussing subjects related to sexual assault, and if that is something that upsets you, I would ask you to refrain from listening to, say, the next 2 minutes or next 1 minute of this podcast, and then you can join in because I'll talk about the cinematography and the music, which is my favorite part of the film. My issue with the Song of Scorpions and why I would put it, say, below Kissa is that it gives into this genre of films which were known as rape and revenge fantasy films, and they used to be very popular in the 1970s. But ab kya ho gaya na, people have started criticizing it because they say that a film whose very basis rests on the idea of violence against women is not something that should have such a popular genre of its own. But even if you plan to make this type of film, because there is a vicarious justice sort of sense that comes to with films like this, then a very much a nuance is necessary. Or Song of Scorpions में वो nuance थोड़ा सा absent है, क्योंकि it gives into that self-sacrifice and whole glorification thing that just does not bode well for the film. What the film does get right, however, is the culture of victim blaming and how predatory people are just lurking around every corner, and all of that, and the sinister nature of it, of patriarchy in general, is very, very well explored in that film. So it's a pretty much a double, like it's twofold the way they have dealt with the theme. Trigger warning over. I'm going to start talking about the cinematography. The best thing about the Song of Scorpions is its cinematography. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's shot in like this desert, like it's shot in Jaisalmer. Apparently it's set. Stunning. The camera rakes over the sand and you see the whole sand dunes and how these sand dunes are vast, right? They're so huge. And for Nooran, they're at one point her friend, but also they're trapping her inside in her little village. They're so vast, they're hiding things, but they're also the place where people find themselves. So it's all of this is shown through the cinematography, and it's absolutely stunning. stunning. मतलब इतना सुंदर cinematography है. I was just constantly in awe. But the one thing that actually completely transported me into the film was its music. जो गाने हैं, and of course it's about Scorpion singers, right? The songs are ethereal, I guess is the word for it. मतलब गाने सुन के ऐसा लगता है जैसे it's just you and the music and the rest of the world is empty, and that very rarely happens. The voices are singing and there's very few instruments, so इसलिए the raw quality to it is perfect. It's perfect. Music can have a very, very, very huge effect on someone. It can stun you into silence, or it can drive you to tears. And the songs in this movie kind of have the potential to do either. And I think that's what makes Song of Scorpions so strong. But like I said, the film does falter in its plot devising. It falters in its script a little bit, but the character work is brilliant. Irfan's character Adam is supposed to be this quote-unquote nice guy trope that you see everywhere, and you kind of see as the story progresses, you unfurl all the cruelty inside him, all the menace inside him, and this is done beautifully portrayed by Irfan. Just his eyes speak volumes. That actor, he's magic on screen. He was a, I don't know, he's a revelation in himself as an actor, and he will be so sorely missed. But yes, the Song of Scorpions, is it better than Kissa? Not really, but it is still a pretty decent watch. You will find it a little difficult to get through because it's very slow in the first half, but the second half ka pace picks up and the storytelling and everything is worth it. And so is Golshifteh's acting, which is my favorite part of the movie. So to finally come to my verdict, do I like the film? I did. But I do have the issues that I mentioned, because otherwise, pretty enjoyable watch. If you are a fan of Irfan or of Golshifteh or of Wahida Rahman, you will really enjoy this film. Or if you're just a fan of music in general, watch the film. Tell me what you think about it. I really hope you enjoy it. Tell me your thoughts. I love I love hearing your thoughts. I love listening to what you feel about films and shows and other things. Oh, and I also watched Citadel this week, so if you have any thoughts about that, tell me. I really enjoyed it, but I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, that is all for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Do I Like It is a Quint production, executive produced by Ritu Kapoor and Shelly Walia, hosted by me, Pratiksha Mishra, produced and edited by Anjali Palod, with music from the Song of Scorpions and BMG Production. See you next time.
You were listening to the Quint's podcast.